Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. If you are new here, my name is Lex Morningstar, and this channel is about one of the 16 personality types, INFP. But today, instead of just specifically talking about the life of an INFP, I am going to talk about what I, as an INFP, have learnt from each of the 16 personalities. But before I begin, I just want to briefly go over the name Morningstar and where that came from. When I was about 8 years old, my mother met this wonderful man. His name was Richard Toubiers. He was this Canadian guy, and more specifically, a man who had decades of experience with the First Nations people. He shared his culture and his wisdom with us, and I was so privileged to have taken part in ceremonies such as the Native American Sweat Lodge, the Long Dance, and my very own puberty ceremony. I think a lot of my personality has been influenced by Richard Toubiers, and for that I am so grateful because I've learnt a lot of things that help me feel more confidence in who I am. So Richard Toubiers had conducted a sweat lodge for my 18th birthday party, and in the sweat he had given me the name Morningstar Woman, or Anpowe Chapi. So the morning star is Venus, or the feminine energy, and it was kind of an initiation into my womanhood. And I carry this name on with me through my adult life, and it helps me to remember who I am and to continue loving who I am. So I thought that the name Lex Morningstar would absolutely suffice for a YouTube channel. So I recently set Richard Toubiers up with his very own YouTube channel where he talks about the life of a Native American and what life on the Red Road is like. So if you're intrigued, feel free to check his channel out. I'll pop it in the description box below, but it'll also pop up for you to click on in whatever corner it is. But as for now, I'm gonna get started. So, as INFPs, we are so quick to see what we need to improve on, but also how far we've come, the things that we've learnt to lead us to a greater purpose. And of course, we see all the relationships in our life as something that can help us grow as individuals. So as I talk about how the 16 personalities have helped me grow as an individual and as an INFP, I'm drawing off the perspectives of people who are in my life and all the different personalities that surround me. We of course are all individual, no matter what personality type we may have. We all offer something different, each and every one of us. Without further ado, let's begin. INTJ. I have an INTJ in my life. You know what I love about INTJs? I love that they fall back on hard facts and that they're just filled with knowledge, like never-ending knowledge. Yes, they can be quite arrogant. I have first-hand experience with it. But at the same time, I thoroughly appreciate their insight and the fact that they're just so intelligent. So the main thing that I have learned from the INTJ is to always trust the facts. If you can't find an answer to anything, take comfort in knowing that your answer is always going to be a research away. So yeah, the INTJ has taught me as an INFP to always trust that the facts are going to answer any question that I may have. You know, one thing I love about INTPs, they share the same MBTI type as Albert Einstein. I mean, how cool is that? Imagine sharing your MBTI type with Albert Einstein. I mean, I thought it was really cool that I shared INFP with Tolkien, but I have to say Einstein's pretty next level. And I can tell you why. I mean, as an INFP, there's a great deal that I have learned from INTPs. I love that INTPs think outside the box. I mean, as an INFP, I think out of the box anyway. But what the INTP has is the fact that they have fun with logical possibilities. To an INTP, there is more to life than meets the eye, and that is something as an INFP that I admire, but it's also helped me as an INFP understand that there is more to this world than just what you see right in front of you. INFPs have a tendency to feel really lost and not part of this world, but the INTP makes it feel safe enough to be here, knowing that there's just endless possibilities. Now, I know not everyone would see eye to eye with the ENTJ, but something tells me they don't really care. But that is something I admire about the ENTJ, and something that I can really learn from. As someone who feels quite self-conscious, and there's someone who thinks people are judging me all the time, the INTP kind of puts it out there that you really don't have to care. I don't actually know any ENTJs as far as I know, but from what I've read about them and from the characters that I've watched on movies and on TV, I really admire the fact that ENTJs are go-getters. They teach you that self-confidence and a little bit of self-assertion can help you get what you need. They definitely show you what's necessary to achieve success. And as an INFP, learning how to obtain those qualities, I believe that can really help me. And that's something I'm going to keep striving for. ENTJs strive to find the best method which helps them to achieve their goals, even if that means that they have to put their oxygen mask on first. I think as feelers especially, we often put others before ourselves, and while this is such a wonderful and beautiful attribute, I do believe that taking care of yourself is the most important thing so we can take care of others. ENTPs are a lot of fun. From what I've witnessed, endless conversations, endless debates. The ENTP has taught me that it's so okay to debate my point of view. Of course, if you can back it up with facts. ENTPs freely express their opinions without worrying what other people think of them. While it is good to put a cap on that, I do believe that being opinionated isn't a bad thing. In fact, standing up for what you believe in as an INFP, that is something I value. And that is something I also strive for. So the ENTP has kind of taught me that it's okay to be confident in expressing what you truly value. I love INFJs. I absolutely adore them. Every INFJ I know, I really, really like. To everyone who is an INFJ, you are so lucky. I'm a little bit jealous. You have taught me to trust in my intuition and to trust in the bigger picture. I am so lucky. My mother is an INFJ, and she was a great asset growing up. As someone who is a teenager who was finding her feet and finding out who she was, my INFJ mother helped to instill that self-trust and to trust that intuition that was slowly coming out over time. INFJs look for the bigger purpose in things, and this is such a great asset to have in a friend, because especially as an INFP, we need people like that in our lives. The INFJ is so wise, and I am so lucky that the INFJ has helped me look at the bigger picture in things. INFPs. I was struggling to find what the INFP has taught me, because as an INFP, I just take such a humble approach. So it was a little bit difficult, but then, I looked to the INFPs in my life and I thought, okay, there are definitely things that I've learned from all of you. The INFP has taught me how to walk to my own beat and how to be true to myself. The INFP stays true to themselves in their most rawest form, and I think this is absolutely beautiful. The INFP has such an authentic view of the world and of people, and can also see things that other people may miss. And for that, I am just so grateful. To learn that from other INFPs has been such an enlightening experience. Without even realizing, the INFPs are one of the most strongest MBTI types, and I so wish that we recognize that more. Thank you, INFPs, for teaching me how to be true to myself. You guys are amazing. The ENFJ has taught me to be confident with who I am. The ENFJ has shown me that I have a really important place in my relationships and also in society. Sometimes as an INFP, I forget this fact and I can be really hard on myself. But the ENFJ has just waltzed along and has basically instilled that confidence within myself. The ENFJ has taught me how to trust in myself first and foremost. They're quite similar to the INFJ in that regard, but I must say they're a little bit more boisterous. The ENFJ has a great talent with helping people to see the power in themselves. Oh, the ENFP. Well, of course I'm with one, so it's a bit of a dead giveaway. But, I have had many ENFPs in my life. There is one major thing that the ENFP has taught me. They have taught me that it's so okay to have dreams and to trust in my passions. The ENFP has taught me to keep dreaming and to keep pursuing projects. The ENFP is so supportive in the sense that they are probably the main MBTI type who can completely get the INFP. They so understand the dreamy-like quality to the INFP and they almost live it with the INFP. Well, at least James does. ENFP is just so supportive and they are great fun. The ENFP has also taught me to let my hair down a little bit. Even though for once I have my hair tied up, I'm having kind of a bad hair day. You didn't really need to know that. The ISTJ, one of the most grounding personality types of the 16 personalities. The INTJ has taught me grounding. The INTJ has taught me that there is a way through hardships. You just have to be diligent and to make smart and strategic choices. As an INFP, sometimes I struggle with my strategy game, but the INTJ just has such a solid ground. The ISTJ is when there's a will, there's a way, just make smart choices. What I really love about the ISFJ is that while they are really sensitive and emotional people, for them, there's always a practical solution to sorting through conflict in interpersonal relationships. ISFJs work hard at creating harmony in their environment and they do it in such a practical way. And as an INFP, I'm not always present, but the ISFJ shows that you can be both sensitive and present. I don't know many ISFJs, but the ISFJs I do know, I hold in such high regard. The ISFJ is practicality mixed with compassion. The ESTJ is the opposite of the INFP. I haven't always seen eye to eye with the ESTJ, but there are two main things that the ESTJ has taught me. The first one is good work ethic. ESTJs are such hard workers and I really do admire the fact that they are methodical and they have a set way of doing things that really work. But there's also one other thing that the ESTJ has taught me, and that is to appreciate myself more. I've had major challenges with ESTJs, and after these challenges, an epiphany hit me. They all wanted to change me. They all wanted me to become little mini thems. But what they actually did help me with is to be confident in who I am, to be confident in my sensitivity and my creativity. Thanks, ESTJs. The ESFJ has taught me the value in relationships. The ESFJ goes to great lengths to ensure that their friends and family are happy. They are so much fun, and I have had many ESFJ relations. The ESFJ has taught me how to nurture relationships and to appreciate communication in its rawest form. ESFJs are generally really inclusive and open, and as an INFP, I kind of hide in my shell a lot of the time, but the ESFJ has taught me how to just trust in people a little bit more, to trust in our allies and have fun with our friends and family. I have a very special ISTP in my life. He is an engineer, and growing up with him, I learned to appreciate the simplicity in the way things work. My dad, he sees things in their most simplistic form. When there's a challenge that comes up, he just straight away comes out with the most simplistic answer. And most of the time he's right. As INFPs, we have a tendency to overcomplicate things and overanalyze, but the ISCP does a really good job at simplifying things. I swear this is the most I've ever said simplify. If you've got a problem to solve, go to an ISTP. They'll tell you right then and there what to do about it. Very practical, very black and white, and also very knowledgeable. Sometimes we don't need to overcomplicate things. I wish that as an INFP, I could just seek the most simple answer. But no, I have to take the emotional path. ESTPs know how to let loose and have a little bit of fun. That was probably an understatement. But the ESTP knows when they need their rest and their recreation. The ESTP knows that taking a little bit of time out for fun is so good for the soul. They probably wouldn't explain it like this, but this is just what I've picked up from them. And this is something that I really appreciate and want to have more of in my life. But the way that the ESTP gains this is by making it themselves. They put themselves out there and they create their fun. And this is something that as an INFP is absolutely doable. So I'm going to do more of it. The ESFP has taught me how to enjoy the fruits of my labor. It's okay to let your hair down and to enjoy life. It's okay to spend a little bit of money here and there and to enjoy extroverted sensing. The ESFP has taught me that it's okay to take risks where it counts. The ESFP has taught me that taking risks leads to more choices. It opens doors. Life will continue whether you jump into the void or not. And the ESFP really knows when to jump. I think that is a really admirable trait because it just shows so much confidence and so much will for life. That's something that I have definitely learned from and something that I continue to strive for. The ISFP has taught me how to live in the moment with my creativity, to really bask in all of its glory. Sometimes as an INFP, doing creative things can be really quite stressful. But from what I've seen from the ISFP, they really just enjoy it. ISFPs really just go for it when it comes to creativity and creative projects. And they appreciate the authenticity in it. The auxiliary function is extroverted sensing. So they are just so in the moment with what they do. So thank you, ISFP, for teaching me how to be more in the moment with my creative endeavors. So this concludes what I have learned from the 16 personalities. I hope you really enjoyed this video. I was really trying to make it pretty brief just because there's 16 personalities to get through and I didn't really want this to be 60 minutes long because we're probably way over 60 minutes already on there. But then I got to edit it because I make so many mistakes. But you guys don't know about that. So for now, I hope you have a really good day, night, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. And I will see you guys all again next time. Bye bye.